So just talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing in the world of first-party data. What kinds of, what's necessary to really use it correctly and effectively?
Sure. Absolutely, first-party data is so critical to getting customer knowledge right and getting customer understanding right. And we are still pretty far behind because I think we still run up against that old problem of where is all my data and what is important, what matters in this giant pool of data that I own. And so I think that, where we see innovation and we see people doing really cool things with their first-party data, it's in many cases a company that doesn't have a legacy business. It's a company that is 10, 15 years old, has been able to be innovative with its data from day one, and I think a lot of the companies that struggle are the ones that have been around for 100 years. Knowing where your data is an enormous differentiator for many of these companies. They're not fighting the fight that historically marketers have had to, which is, I've got a database over here, I've got another database over there, I don't know how they speak together, if they do at all, and I don't know if I have an IT resource who can help me bring them together. I think the data natives don't have that problem. They built their systems in a way that they were always going to be able to integrate data. Increasingly,
you're seeing marketers create second-party relationships, whether with publishers or with other marketers. Right. Advice or themes that you're seeing around the use of external sources of data?
Yeah, second-party data is really interesting. I was in the catalog industry growing up, and that was an industry where we started second-party data and data co-ops very, very early. 1992 was the first of those co-ops. I'm really excited that second-party is moving into the digital realm now and being used in the ad world beyond sort of historical and traditional direct marketing.
So from your perspective as an analyst and in your experience, what's valuable about getting access to, participating in getting access to, scaled transactional and behavioral data?
A big part of it is just moving away from inference. The idea that because somebody has bought a house necessarily means that they're going to need all new furniture is less interesting than somebody shopping for furniture and being able to identify that and understand that, and knowing that if I've bought a sofa and hardwood floor stuff, that there's a likelihood that I need pads to put underneath my sofa, not to mark up my hardwood floors. This is not stuff that you could do with inference data. You have to do it with transactional data. So as a marketer, I think that's really what the value of a shared pool of transactional, real behavioral data brings you.
So what's a marketer to do? Where does a marketer look? How does a marketer take control? How does a marketer find scaled solutions? How does a marketer get a deep understanding of his or her consumer, wherever that person happens to be?
I think, yes, cooperative data sharing and second-party data is a huge part of that. I think the opportunities for understanding and knowing your customer via those negotiated relationships, data relationships, is really powerful.
Do you see scale challenges with, for example, a first-party data-only strategy? My data is the best data, but that's the only data I'm going to use. It's the only data I trust. And then they find 15 users. Yeah, there's that.
But there's also how do you know what you don't know? And I think about my own examples. I happen to be pretty loyal to a particular consumer technology brand, which shall remain unnamed, and they know a lot about me. I have all of their devices, and they should know a lot about me. They still don't know that I use rechargeable batteries in the remote control for my smart TV. That's an important thing to know. They're never going to know that about me because of the stuff that I've bought from them. They need a secondary source of data that comes from outside of their four walls to understand that about me. And why is that important? Well, when they email me, when I go to their website, they should be showing me above the fold their eco-conscious things, programs, what they do from a recycling perspective. I don't need to know some of their other initiatives, but that eco piece brings me much closer to them. And they could never understand that without going outside of their own four walls.